Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. Side by Customs, custom fabrication for anything UTV. Tire Jack, the highest rated tire repair and flat prevention product on the market. And by Tribotex, make your engine last longer.
We've seen in the past few weeks how Tribotex can make your engine perform better, how it can make it last longer, and how it can even bring an old engine back to life. Pretty remarkable stuff, Pasha, but it's not just any old engine oil additive. How is it different from the other products that are out there?
It's a permanent coating that is get applied by nanoparticles layer by layer when they swim inside of the oil and attached to a surface only where friction takes place.
And you touched on it there. They swim inside the oil, but it doesn't actually change the oil, but some other guys are trying to do that.
Typically, oil additives designed to modify properties of the oil: viscosity, thermal stability. Nanoparticles use oil as a carrier, and we try to not interfere with the oil at all.
And when you drain your oil, what happens to the Tribotex?
Tribotex stays. Tribotex stays everywhere where the friction took place, and parts that got involved in friction actually gets heavier because of the Tribotex layer that compensates for the wear, and we call it reverse wear.
How often do I need to use Tribotex?
Typically it lasts 40,000 miles or more in places that not heavy loaded, but the piston cylinder groups takes about 40,000 miles, so we recommend applying it once you change oil a few times. It's a good thing to reapply it.
How do I know that Tribotex works and it's not just some snake oil?
That's a good question. We get it asked quite often. We have over a decade worth of research, from bench tests to lab tests to military vehicles application to high performance vehicles to even jet engines and gearboxes coupled to the jet engines. So the broad spectrum, and collectively vehicles that we applied Tribotex in went over several million miles over the 10 years that we are working in this field.
Hours and hours of testing in the laboratory and tons of real-world testing. Tribotex is the real deal. You can check them out at tribotex.com.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
All right, so you got a problem beside the road, probably a flat tire, and you are dressed up and ready to go out for the evening. Never fear, you have the Magic Creeper, and you were smart enough to buy the Magic Creeper with the emergency kit. Now, it comes in this nice bag that fits in the back of your car. You can slide it under the seat if you want to. Stores super easily. Now, the emergency kit has everything you're going to need if you have a roadside emergency. It has a screwdriver, a raincoat if it's raining outside, that will protect your nice clothes, adjustable wrench, some zip ties if you need to fasten something up, even a bungee cord if you need to do the same, and also a flashlight. If this all happens at night, you're going to be good to go. And of course, jumper cables if you are stopped beside the road. Now, of course, you use the Magic Creeper as a knee pad if you need to change the tire. So on any terrain, whether it's gravel, a wet road, or just the rough surface, you can save your knees by using the Magic Creeper when you're jacking up the car and changing that tire. If you need to get under the car, that's where the Magic Creeper really shines. You just roll it out under the car and you can slide underneath. You get more ground clearance than you would with a traditional creeper. And of course, you couldn't bring a traditional creeper with you anyway. It wouldn't fit in your trunk, and it certainly wouldn't roll on the pavement, wouldn't roll on gravel, and wouldn't roll on grass. But the Magic Creeper goes over anything. It is super durable, and you won't even feel any bumps as you go over those rough terrains. Even glass underneath won't affect you on the Magic Creeper. And once you're done with it, it is super easy to clean. Just wipe it off, maybe spray it with a little bit of cleaner, and you are good to go. And you are ready to get back to your evening out. You're going to protect your clothes. You're going to be able to fix your car on the go. It's the Magic Creeper. You can check it out at magiccreeper.com, except no substitutes.
Now, brake fluid, like any other fluid on the vehicle, wears out over time. As a matter of fact, brake fluid is hygroscopic. And what does that mean? Well, it absorbs water. When it absorbs water, that actually lowers the boiling point. And once it gets down so low, it starts to boil. Air is compressible, liquid's not. You get a case called brake fade. That pedal starts to go to the floor. You have to bleed the brakes. Not a good thing. So what do we want to do? Check the brake fluid. Two simple methods. You can go down and get these test strips right here, stick it in there, Read the container, tells you the content of what's going on in there, whether it's good or bad, really simple to use. I like to use the little electronic gauge, very inexpensive. You can go down and get one of these, pretty cool. Just take it over here, push the button, stick it in the brake fluid, and there you go. Wow, green is good, red is bad. Super easy to read. This one here, it's been in there since the get-go. Time to flush this one out. Now there's different types of brake fluids as well. There's .3, .4, .5 and .5.1. Now what you need to know about that one is .5 is silicone based, 3, 4, and 5.1 are glycol based. So what do? Check your service manual. Make sure you put the right brake fluid in the vehicle and also flush it out, bleed it. Man, your brakes will be like new.
Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat. We're really glad you came along for the ride. We'll be back once again next week, but in the meantime, if you're jonesing for some Motorhead Garage, be sure to check out our Facebook page. And if you have anything you want to see featured on our show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we will see you